All right, next one up here. Washington Commanders. They hire Dan Quinn, former Cowboys defensive coordinator, as the head coach. They hire Kliff Kingsbury, who you mentioned earlier, was the senior offensive analyst at USC, and obviously we know him more prominently in the NFL circles as the Arizona Cardinals head coach.
This is not good. Someone get my boy Scary Terry out. Somebody get my boy Jahan Dotson out. All right, big Jahan Dotson fan. Good film. Let's save the man.
Thank you for saying that, though, because number one, I love Jahan Dotson at Penn State. I thought he was a great prospect, and I really like the rookie year film as well. But man, he is in terms of, and it's all over fantasy Twitter now at this point, like his targets per route run, yards per route run, and how they are like line up with some of the busts of the busts, like the Jalen Ragers and Laquan Treadwells and all that stuff. And it's like, man, there's a good football player in there with Jahan Dotson, and obviously Terry McLaurin. I've been a big, long time Terry McLaurin backer. And I was so excited for somebody to come squeeze the juice out of these damn receivers. And I don't feel good about Kliff Kingsbury being the guy to do it.
Kliff is like a very classic, don't know how to weaponize a top receiver, right? Because with DeAndre Hopkins in Arizona, it was just leave him on the left side of the field for 98% of the snaps, and he runs 4 routes. Like that's what we do with the outside receiver here in the air raid. And it's like, okay, sick. But that doesn't, again, like that's a perfect example of like college doesn't climb to the NFL as easily as we think it does. Maybe Kliff's learned from that. Like, you know, like I will be very interested to see what he does on the field that's new. Because we have to remember those Arizona teams, they would come out every year, September and October, and pitch gas. Kliff had a whole year off. So like, I think he's going to come out with some new stuff. I would not be surprised if you and I are suffering in September and October. Commanders fans, Ben Solak, I'm at Harmon. You guys said it was bad and it's good. You're an idiot. But it's the long game. They don't evolve over the course of the year. They get stale, and when they start to reach resistance, when they start to have problems, they revert back to their basic stuff. I subscribe to all notions that they're trying to land Caleb Williams, and that Kliff is tight with Caleb and knows what sort of offense Caleb wants to run and how he sees the game. He was his quarterback's coach last year at USC, and so okay, Kliff's it's gonna be Caleb and Kliff in Washington. It's gonna be the new era, the DC boy back football, whatever. And I think there's going to be a game in September where it looks like you'll see it all making sense, and Terry will have 170 yards on 12 targets, and it'll feel amazing. But I don't think it's going to stand the test of a season. I don't think it's going to stand the test of long-term time. There's not enough creativity on the staff to me. It's Dan Quinn with Kliff Kingsbury and Brian Johnson. Like it's just I those are known commodities to me, and I don't like the sum of the parts there. So I have a lot of doubts about the way Washington built it.